Joe Khalil live for us from the convention floor there in Milwaukee. And Joe, the former president says he completely rewrote his speech after the attempt on his life.
He did. Not only him, but also the campaign had asked a number of Republicans who were speaking at that podium behind us to change their speeches after that assassination attempt, trying to remove the focus from maybe Democrats or Democratic rhetoric and instead try to focus on unity within their party and national unity. And so we expect that's what we may hear from the former president. Right now, I'm joined by Congresswoman Cammack from Florida. So I want to chat with her for a minute. Let's start there. Congresswoman, thank you for being with us, by the way. Taking time with us. So you heard our intro there, this unity theme. Is that what you expect to hear from former President Trump tonight?
Absolutely, because the America First movement and the agenda has always been about putting Americans first, regardless of what box you check. Doesn't matter where you are in the country, doesn't matter where you come from. It is all about putting our country first, and it's about prosperity. I think tonight we are going to see a historic speech that people will talk about 50 to 100 years from now.
Yeah. I think it's been a bit of a surprise for a lot of people watching the outside that the RNC has stuck so well to that idea, to the unity theme, right? I mean, I see in Capitol Hill all the time, we hear a lot about the weaponization of the justice system. We hear a lot about, sometimes former President Trump focuses on the 2020 election. We haven't really seen much of that at all, right? I mean, I think they've really stuck to the messaging here.
Yeah, I'll steal a phrase from the RNC chairman, Michael Whatley. He says, we are going to hit our marks. And man, has that team, this team, and everyone here hit their marks. It really is about putting America first. And you mentioned weaponization. Just because it hasn't been the top thing talked about here today does not mean that that is not a legitimate, real issue that we are going to be tackling. It truly is. And when we talk about weaponization of the government, again, it doesn't impact just Republicans. It's all Americans that are impacted by an overzealous, weaponized federal government. So right now it's about unifying, being one team, one mission, and getting ready for November.
So we talked a little bit about what you expect for former President Trump tonight. What about last night, JD Vance?
Yes.
You had a couple of Floridians that were in the discussion. President Trump went with JD Vance. What did you think of the pick and of his address to the nation last night?
Well, the upside is I get to keep my Florida Senator, Marco Rubio, which he's doing a phenomenal job. But of course, as a millennial, it's always exciting to see a fellow millennial on the ticket. This is a historic pick, a Marine, someone who I think is going to be an incredibly effective and persuasive communicator about the America First agenda. And so I'm excited. You know, we talk about often in my circles amongst my peers how the decisions of today are going to impact my generation the most. So being someone who's a millennial, I'm 36, he's 39, we are really feeling the brunt of the Bidenomics, right? We feel it at the gas pump, we feel it in the grocery store, we see it in our 401ks, we see it when we go try to buy a house. It's not working. And so we, I think collectively, are going to have a lot of momentum as millennials going into this November election.
Moving beyond the convention, you want to try to build on the momentum here. We've heard some things about how, JD Vance isn't the traditional GOP orthodoxy, right? He supports tariffs, on foreign policy. People have called him more of an isolationist. I wonder, do you think that is a good thing, that maybe moving forward you can attract voters that Republicans have traditionally struggled with? Or is that something that may be concerning to some of the more Reagan-type Republicans?
Well, since you mentioned and invoked his name, I'm going to throw one right back at you. Reagan obviously infamously said, if you're with me 80% of the time, you're a good and trusted friend, not a 20% traitor. And I think that's really where we're headed as a movement. We may not agree on every topic. I'm sure you and your wife don't agree on every topic, just like my husband and I don't agree on every topic. She's always right. But, that's the beauty of this country, is that you can disagree and you can still be friends. You can still have a great family Thanksgiving, having all walks of life around the table, and that's okay. And I think in the party, we're seeing that. You don't have to have 100% agreement on every issue. And I think having JD, someone who maybe doesn't fit the traditional mold, he's filling that role right now. So I think it's great for the party. We're the big tent party, and we're expanding the message.
Congresswoman, thank you so much. We've got to leave it there. Again, appreciate you joining us. All right, from the Congresswoman's mouth, thank you, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.